Hi everyone, Kevin here from Golf Guy Reviews, and in this video today we're going to take a close-up first look at the brand new Nike Air Zoom Victory Tour 2 golf shoes. Now these are a spiked golf shoe just released from Nike that currently retail here in the UK for £160 and $180 in the US. Now I've got here the Volt Green version. They did sell out immediately, both here in the UK and in the US. And in fact, their initial launch colorways of a white and black version have also sold out on launch. But I'm pretty sure that these are going to come back in stock sooner or later because the Victory Tour, initially, the first version, was such a huge staple of the Nike golf range. So it'll be really interesting to see what they do with this new version. So in this video today, we're going to take a closer look at this shoe. I'm going to run through some of the details of it and kind of look at some of these design elements in a little bit of closer detail. And I'm going to tell you how they actually fit on feet. Now, if you are interested in buying a pair of these for yourself, then I have included my affiliate links down in the description below. But for now, let's jump straight in. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, this is Nike's second version of the Victory Tour golf shoes. And they've definitely tried to, evolve the shoe onto the next level. So this shoe, to kind of sum it up, it seems like this is Nike's attempt at a more traditional style golf shoe while looking quite modern and distinctive in its own way. Because I think it's fair to say that this doesn't necessarily look too much like a regular golf shoe, although it does have some properties. You would say that the silhouette kind of looks like a regular golf shoe, but definitely there's quite a few design elements here which are really trying to make it look modern and fresh and unique out on the golf course. And I think it could potentially divide a bit of opinion there, whether you actually like the look and design of this shoe or not. Now, one of the first things I actually wanted to take a closer look with these new Victory Tour 2 golf shoes is actually the outsole. Now, on the original version of the Victory Tour, you had a hybrid combination of both soft spikes as well as some quite aggressive traction system on the actual outsole of the shoe itself. Now with these, Nike are saying that this is still a hybrid system. However, when you take a closer look, I'd say it looks just more like a traditional pair of golf shoes. You've got 7 cleats placed on the shoe. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, just had to double check. But yeah, you've got those 7 cleats there placed on the shoe, and you've kind of lost that hybrid system there. And if you take a real close look at these shoes, I don't think these grooves are really going to give you that much extra traction, and so all your traction is coming from the traditional spikes. Now, I haven't used these on the golf course yet, so I will do a follow-up full review where I let you know what they're actually like to use. Now, another similarity with the original Victory Tour is the use of the Air Zoom pockets right throughout the sole of this shoe. And I've got to say, this is a very comfortable, soft feeling underfoot. Now, what Nike have done for this shoe is actually stitched the Air Zoom units into the shoe rather than actually set them into the midsole foam, which, by the way, on the heel here has got that Nike React Foam logo on the back there. I'm not sure whether it's React Foam on the toe, but it certainly is React Foam on the heel, so it's a nice soft foam that you've got at the rear. But actually, going back to that Air Zoom pockets, you can see here that Nike have stitched them right into the upper, and then interestingly as well, I managed to get the inner sole of the shoe out. Now, it was kind of glued down, but it wasn't too difficult to remove. And what you can see here is that Nike have actually used a solid plate at the bottom of that inner sole there. Now, that's quite unique. I've not actually really seen that before. And what Nike is saying is it means that it's going to give you a better amount of stability with these golf shoes because you don't want that Air Zoom unit to be kind of too soft and wobbly. Now, I've got to admit, I don't remember them doing that on the Infinity Tour golf shoes, which were quite unstable actually. So perhaps this is something that they've kind of addressed, but it'll be really interesting to see how this works out on the golf course once I can get them out there. So let's take a close-up look at some of the design elements that make up the Victory Tour 2. And first of all, you can see here that the full leather upper that Nike are using has got this kind of texture to it right the way across. So it's not a smooth leather like you get on most golf shoes. There's quite a bit of texture, right across the whole of the upper of the shoe. Now you have got the Nike swoosh both on the outside and the inside of the shoe there, and it's got this kind of pinstripe pattern to it. And also you have got a little swoosh there embossed at the bottom of the laces section. Now the laces are quite thin and they are rounded laces, and it's quite interesting as well from the upper because there's not the biggest kind of gap at the top of the shoe there. It is quite sleek in the design and look of this shoe. Now there are a few other elements on this shoe which kind of help give it this sleek design. It seems to sit quite low. I would say it's got definitely quite a low profile on the foot. It's not necessarily a big, bulky shoe, and personally I like that because I've got skinny little legs, so big bulky shoes kind of tend to stand out when I put them on. But interestingly as well, you've got this kind of fin at the back. So this material here is actually part of the the kind of padding around the heel and the ankle. And I would say it looks quite similar to some of the Nike running trainers you've got at the moment. Certainly, kind of like the Next Percent and the most recent design of the Pegasus running trainers all kind of have a bit more of this sharp kind of pointed rear. And so I think Nike are definitely taking a bit of inspiration from that. They've not said anything like that, that's just kind of my personal opinion looking at the shoe. Now what I do really like on this shoe is some of the tiny little details on it as well. So for example, you've got the Volt green stitching you can see right along the upper, along the laces, and it goes around the other side and back around the other side as well. So I think that's just a real classy little touch there. That didn't have to be that Volt green, it could have just been a normal white, but I really kind of like that little detail to the shoe. As you can see here, you've got the Air Zoom logo there on the kind of TPU sole there, and that is quite a significant amount of TPU that you've got kind of coming up from the sole of the shoe and kind of hugging here to kind of help support your foot in the shoe and give you a real good amount of stability in the shoe. Now another really interesting design element for me that I've not really seen before on a pair of shoes is this split sole design. So a lot of people said when this shoe first came out here in the UK that it kind of looks like a pair of football boots because football boots can have a bit of a split sole design to them. So it's quite interesting here. You've got the two rear spikes housed on this rear part of this TPU base there, but it is separate from the rest of the kind of TPU base there, and it is separated here by your React foam at the heel. So again, it does give it quite a unique look, I think. And for me personally, I'm quite liking the styling, given that it's, it's based on a traditional looking shoe, but it's also modern and does its own take as well. So I think this is a really kind of cool design, and I look forward to actually getting it out on the course. Now, one other thing I did just want to quickly talk about is how they fit and feel on feet. Now, I went true to size as a UK 9 in these shoes, and I think that's going to be the right size for me. I don't think I necessarily need to size up or size down in these. Now, the leather has got quite a bit of structure to it initially, so I think that potentially could take a fair bit of breaking in, certainly around this heel and ankle area. Now, you have got a fairly generous amount of padding around the heel and ankle, but there's not too much distance there. You can probably see it on the camera there between the padding and then the leather upper, which has definitely got a fair bit of rigidity to it on this ankle area. So I can definitely initially feel that these are going to take me a little bit of breaking in. With the shoes on feet, the first thing that you notice is the comfort from that Air Zoom. It is really nice and soft right the way through the sole of the shoe, right from toe to heel. So first of all, that is going to be a very nice and comfortable place to be when you're out on the golf course. The second thing I initially noticed as well is that actually there's a fairly decent amount of room, it feels, in the toe box area. My feet don't necessarily feel too crammed in. That was certainly a complaint that I've had with some of the more recent Nike designs, certainly things like the Air Max 90 golf shoes, as well as the Infinity Tours. I've definitely expressed my opinion on the Infinity Tours that I thought there just wasn't enough room. I've got a skinny little size 9 foot, and even I was struggling in them and had to go a size up. But in these feel true to size for me. The other thing you do notice as well is because there's not that much room in terms of the tongue area at the top. And definitely I would just mention as well that the tongue is really thin on these shoes. And that's, it's probably because actually by the time you do the laces up, the upper really pulls across your foot quite a lot. So you don't necessarily need the most amount of padding from the tongue, but you do feel that you have actually got quite a lot of support from the upper of the shoe right across, I wouldn't say necessarily right across the shoe, but quite high up the shoe. So again, that will be something that I'm really interested to see how I get on with these shoes out on the golf course. I think these shoes have got a lot of potential for Nike to be an incredibly comfortable pair of golf shoes, while also being the most stable golf shoes in their current range. So that's my very first impressions of the brand new Nike Air Zoom Victory Tour 2 golf shoes. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think, and are you going to be picking up a pair of these golf shoes? And if you did find this video helpful, make sure you smash that like button. Now, if you are thinking about buying a brand new pair of Nike golf shoes for the summer, why not check out my full review of the Air Max 90 golf shoes here?